Face front, true believers. This is Modular Media's No Price Podcast. It's a podcast where we talk comics, movies, merchandise, and more. I am your host, Boingo Writer, and with me, as always, in the bullpen.
Representing the What Year Is It Boingo Rider competition, the Vacuuminator is here.
It's a year.
It's a year you got wrong on the graphic.
Yeah, I know. I made a boo boo. I see what I did.
Anybody?
I went to click the numbers and I was just like, oh yeah, 2, 3, and I was just over to the left one.
Yeah.
I apologize for this, but yes, tonight we are celebrating, we are honoring, one Miss Arlene Sorkin.
Mm-hmm. The voice and original inspiration of Harley Quinn, the iconic character in the DC pantheon, who is only about 10 or 15 years younger than her inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably closer to 20. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Fuck it. I'm not gonna do it because you made fun of it before. I had this whole poetic thing and then back doo-dooed it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But Harley Quinn is probably one of the most successful examples of an adaptation adding something and then the comic books going, no, that's a good idea, let's do that.
Mm-hmm. It took quite a while after the end of the animated series for them to do that, but they still did it, and it caught on quite well. And to this day, Harley Quinn is one of the most recognizable characters, not just in Batman's mythology, but in the greater DC and comic book mythology of the general pop culture zeitgeist. And that's kind of incredible because the whole reason for the character was just they wanted to have a henchwoman for the Joker in the show. And Paul Dini got asked to watch a program that his friend Arlene Sorkin was going to be in as like one of her first big roles. And she was playing this goofy clown character, and he went, "That's it." And he and Bruce Timm co-created Harley Quinn, and they were like, "You know what, Arlene, you should voice her." And Arlene voiced her for the entire original run of the animated series. She voiced her in Batman Arkham Asylum, and she voiced her in DC Universe Online. After then, they switched to Tara Strong as the de facto voice for Harley. But to me, Arlene is still the de facto Harley Quinn. I still hear that voice when I read the character's dialogue in any comic.
What was Tara Strong doing but an Arlene Sorkin impression?
Yeah, and a kind of not great one in my opinion, but we're not here to poo-poo one woman. We're here to celebrate another one.
So why not go with what is probably the definitive Harley Quinn story, Mad Love?
Mm-hmm. Which, depending on what listing you go by, is technically the series finale of the animated series. I don't know. Some people go by the production number, some people go by the broadcast number, and then there's several different DVD orderings, and Max has an ordering that lists it as the series finale.
You know what? We're poo-pooing Elon Musk for X. It's HBO Max still. Fuck them.
Yeah. HBO Max lists it as the last episode of the animated series. So for this broadcast purposes, we're saying it's the series finale because it's also one of the best episodes of the whole show.
And it's a real big summation, not just of Harley Quinn as a character, but Joker as a character and Batman as a character, because
the weird struggle between those three dynamic personalities
and just their motivation, because ultimately Batman's just like, hey, he doesn't love you, you're doing this for nothing, you're getting yourself in danger. He's trying to help.
And then he throws the Joker's own ego in his face as a way of like getting the Joker all pissed off and easy to defeat. And I love the Joker in this episode too, especially in that final scene where he comes in and he's like, he has one of those friggin' moments that you see sometimes when people have to deal with upper management and somebody beneath them, and they're like, "You fucking did what? Yeah, I am so sorry. This we normally don't do things like this. I'm gonna take care of this. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry." Like
Yeah.
that is pitch perfect the way Joker would act with anything towards Batman, especially this version of the Joker that sees everything between them as nothing more than a game.
Yeah. I think the New Adventures of Batman has more interesting plots than the original run because Buster, they were allowed to do more interesting plots.
Yeah, they tried a lot more different things because they were a proven concept by that point.
And
And
it's also like they were a proven concept and they were just said, okay, you know what you're doing, do whatever you want. It's like, oh, very little oversight? Cool.
it's also a shorter, tighter, more condensed run, whereas the first two seasons that make up the original Batman animated series run are a lot longer and controversial hot take, but a lot of episodes of the original animated series run are kind of garbage.
You could probably trim Batman the Animated Series to a nice crisp 30 episodes and
Mhm.
like it'd be perfect.
Yeah, like there's the 10 or 15 people always say are the best ones, and then there's a lot of garbage. And then there's some of the really good ones from New Adventures, like this one.
And like there's definitely a couple like hidden gems of like, oh, this is interesting. It doesn't get
Mhm.
talked as much as like Mad Love or Almost Got Him, but like I'm trying to think of one. I can't.
I don't know episode names real well, but I really like the episode where Clayface accidentally makes another person out of himself and Robin doesn't realize it for half the episode.
Mm,
Um Girls Night Out is kind of garbage, but it's fun garbage.
the one where Penguin goes good,
Yeah.
with all the adaptation homages.
Legends of the Dark Knight. Yeah, that one's great.
But back to Mad Love. This like it's weird. You know what? We're back to back quintessential character episodes because like last episode we were talking about Captain America, Spider-Man, Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Mhm.
And that is quintessential. That is a perfect, pitch perfect, quintessential Spider-Man story, right?
Yeah.
And this is like everything you need to know about Harley Quinn is here. She cares, she's a kind person, and she gets taken advantage of to such a degree it harms her to immeasurable amounts.
Her mental state is totally backwards. Like, this is the first time I've watched this episode in maybe about 10 years. And seeing it as an adult now, there is so much of this that I've seen in real, actual people in real abusive relationships now that I'm just like, Jesus Christ, that hurts. Like,
Yeah.
when she's starting to when she has that whole bit where she goes like, where when did my life turn Looney Tunes, and she's trying to puzzle out why things are so bad for her right now, and she almost gets there, she almost gets to, maybe I shouldn't be hanging around the Joker anymore, and she just immediately flips and goes to, oh, it's Batman's fault,
Well,
Batman's always ruining our day.
because the Joker gives her love, and Batman is the thing that makes him angry. So if the Batman wasn't there, he wouldn't be angry.
Mhm.
That's
And another great
that's
you
the
go ahead.
logic of an abuse victim.
Yeah. And another great detail is just like, if you pay attention to the animation in this episode, anytime Joker raises his hand anywhere above his chest, she flinches. Like, she's fucking used to it to an almost scary degree.
Yeah. Um, and it's I don't want to say this is what made people realize, oh, Joker is a monster, but this is definitively one of the things that makes people go like, oh, he's not a jokey, goofy clown man.
Yeah. People like to kind of in the general pop culture, people like to say like, oh, New Animated Adventures wasn't as good, it's just all the redesigns are weird and you don't really pay attention to that era. But Mad Love was a hugely influential episode for comic book fans, for kids growing up, like I think people would have had a fond memory of Harley Quinn without this episode, but I think this episode is what makes Harley Quinn into the sort of pop culture icon that she is now. It's what lays the groundwork for people going like, "Oh, this is a person. She's not just like another henchman for the Joker. She's got stuff going on up there, and she's actually as sad and as much of a basket case as any of Batman's
Yeah,
villains."
I think that's the big thing. Is like she has her own pathos, and it's not just a hanger on. Like, if you want to know what Harley Quinn without the Mad Love comic and episode was, because we need to talk about the original comic. You have Spike from X-Men Evolution.
Mm.
Do you remember Spike?
I've only watched like the first 8 or so episodes of that show, so I don't know entirely what you're talking about, but I think I get the idea.
He is Storm's nephew who can make hedgehog spikes come out of his skin.
I know that much about him.
Yeah, and he was a fun character in the show, but he has nothing else about him going on. He's just a regular character, and as such they never brought him over to the comics.
He's just there to sell an action figure.
Yeah, but you look at the other cartoon original character from that show, X-23, and like immediately, oh, she's clone pathos, Wolverine pathos, all that kind of stuff.
You know what? I knew that, but I hadn't even thought about the fact that she's a comic or she's an animation first character in years.
And I'm just using these as examples. There's plenty of examples throughout history of like, if it doesn't work, if it only hits the bar in the show, it will be a fun, remembered thing, nothing more. But if it goes above and beyond and becomes something, oh, that's really good, then it sticks around, like Superman flying, Kryptonite, you know?
Very much so.
Stuff like that.
And I also just want to, like, because we're talking about this episode for the reason we're talking about it, special attention should be given. Arlene's performance in this episode is fantastic. She has, like, the thing that so many other actresses who have tried to follow in her footsteps as Harley Quinn, I think, have missed, is Arlene has these wilting tones in her voice. Like, she will get up there and get high and be a bit manic, but she'll also come back down. And she has a whole different tone of voice she uses when she's being Harleen Quinzel as opposed to Harley Quinn. You really do get this fully rounded character that feels real in a vocal sense, not just on the page.
Yeah, no, and it's also like it totally makes sense of like I feel like the Harley Quinn voice is just her normal speaking voice. And because like that's a thing that's common with very distinct accents is like you hide them away in professional settings because it's like, oh, that's not professional. It's like, it's a little bit bits like that, and it works. It really works. Especially because Mark Hamill's always been kind of using a little bit of like a mid-Atlantic accent with the Joker.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I never really think about the fact that those are accents. Those are just those characters to me. But again, that's what makes a great performance better than a good performance.
There's just a lot of great little bits in this show, in this episode specifically. One thing though, it's a nitpick, it's a minor thing. The cartoony like Joker throwing her out of the warehouse.
Yeah.
I think it undersells the violence later because we already have like a bit of like haha cartoon violence.
I think it's to disarm you for like the dramatic moment at the end of the episode of her getting thrown out the window.
Yeah. I was more thinking about the smack. You know? Because that throw perfectly captures what it does, but I think, and I don't even think it takes it like away from it. It's just more of like if this had another draft, would that be a choice they'd make still?
It's interesting to wonder about, because part of me wants to think like there is, like I said, there's meant to be a difference of tone there so that the stuff later in the episode feels all the harsher. Because like he smacks her on camera in that scene, but then in the end, there's a scene where you see that him smack her in silhouette with Batman watching and like wincing, which
Like
I think
actual
is
full on abuse thing.
yeah.
I don't know. It's not one way or the other. It's very much a. It works for the. I don't. I'm not a competent enough writer to say what you should do instead. You know.
Mhm. And like to me that is also like one of the smaller nitpicks about this episode. The bigger nitpick to be had is the fact that this episode is clearly made by two horny older men, and it inspired a lot of younger men to be very horny.
Yeah. This does have a little bit of I can save you vibes in it.
It has that, and it's where that famous image of Harley Quinn in the red dress and nothing else comes from.
Negligee.
Negligee, right? Sorry, I don't know my lingerie terms. uh, but yeah, I have seen far more fan art of that than is probably healthy.
Yeah, and that's also just kind of like that's that's still it's getting better, especially
Mhm.
because of the poison ivy stuff. But that was
Yeah,
always been
Harley is very much her own character these
but
days.
that was always kind of uh a an issue, a problem with the character of
Mhm.
how many people saw it romanticized an abusive relationship.
Yeah, it's weird, right? Because like this episode starts a sort of I can save you or you need to get out of this relationship and help yourself vibe. But then later, like in the late 2010 or in the late aughts, early 2010s, with stuff like the first Suicide Squad movie, it became an almost glorification of abusive relationships. Like I saw people who were clearly in toxic relationships going like, "Yeah, that's us. I'm your Harley and you're my Joker," and like, yeah,
That's not the you shouldn't be do. No.
yeah. But that's a real thing I saw for a little while, and recently, in almost reaction to that, there's been a very strong push for Harley as her own character, as a strong, independent woman, and also her and Poison Ivy are an on again, off again thing.
Yeah, and it's also just reinforcing like, hey, you don't need that kind of thing. You discover who you are. With the solidification of Harley's bisexuality and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll say this: like since this episode, I think we have only come close to an interpretation of Harley Quinn that I'm personally happy with as a fan of the character twice. And that's because I haven't read the rest of it, the first volume of Batman White Knight and James Gunn's The Suicide Squad.
I would put a giant asterisk on White Knight because the Joker in that is not the Joker in any other material.
Yeah,
Because
he's a very different
it's
kind
the
of
most
Joker.
sympathetic Joker you can have because it's very clear that this man has DID.
Hmm.
And the Joker is a very manic, very harmful alter. You know, that kind of, in like, that kind of situation, like, really changes the whole relationship. And blah, 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 blah. I like
Yeah,
the White Knight series. Read it on your own.
yeah, I will at some point, but
Yeah.
nevertheless, um,
Um,
I think it's important to acknowledge just like despite her ups and downs and what you may think of various points in her history,
yeah.
Harley Quinn is an incredibly iconic and important character to modern Batman and DC Comics mythology, and she would not exist, literally would not exist as we know her today, without the inspiration that came from Arlene Sorkin. And despite the fact that she hasn't voiced the character in a little over 10 years, it sucks that she's gone.
I mean, when you define the voice of a character, everyone else goes with what you did. Like, what was the voice of the Joker before Mark Hamill? What's the voice after the Joker? Everyone's trying to take influence of Mark Hamill.
Mm-hmm. Like, the best I could say is fucking Cesar Romero, but I wasn't alive back then, so I don't know for sure.
Like, that's the thing we can say about the Batman animated series is like, what was the voice of Batman before this? What was it after? Kevin Conroy.
Yeah. And, you know, we can. I certainly, in the history of the No Prize podcast, have chafed at the idea of how iconic and important and second to none and gold standard Batman the Animated Series tends to be treated as by the general populace. But that is still there. Like, even though it doesn't always hit that place for me, it's still there.
I think what you got to look at Batman the Animated Series is less of the gold standard that everything else should be compared to, but as the gold standard of production.
Mm-hmm.
The end product, it has its ebbs and flows, just like any piece of artistic production. But the actual production, the design, the intent, the planning, the writing, the casting, all that stuff, golden, perfect. Like, if Batman the Animated Series was allowed to go on for years with unlimited budget and everything, it'd be one of the better things. But they had budget limitations, they had network limitations, they had studio limitations, they had time limitations. So there will be cuts, there will be compromises, and it cannot be perfect. But damn it, they tried as hard as they could to make it perfect.
Yeah, and regardless, they still inspired a whole generation of people to be in love with these characters.
And made brand new ones for more people to love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they should be sending a check to everyone involved every month for thank you for creating our fourth pillar.
Yeah. And please don't ever mention Roxy Rocket again.
I love how they were like, okay, we did Harley, let's make another one.
Support the strikes indeed, Buster.
We've had one manic pixie dream girl. What about second manic pixie dream girl?
Who rides a literal phallic symbol? Surely that can't go wrong.
Right, Bruce Timm, you're totally right. It's not as if any of your horny ideas have gotten you in trouble before.
Yeah, no, never. You want to see my sketchbook? You want to buy a copy of it? I'll personalize this one for you.
You do know, I'm trying to remember, there was an artist at Marvel. By the way, I think we've said enough about the show.
Episode review is over. We're bullshitting now.
We bullshit. I don't remember which artist it was, but I do think it was an official Marvel artist who drew porn of Storm and Nightcrawler.
Wasn't there also an official Archie artist that drew Betty and Veronica fucking?
Maybe.
I think I've heard that somewhere.
I mean, the guy one of the artists who created Superman did fucking Tijuana Bibles.
Yep.
Not just Tijuana Bibles, BDSM Tijuana Bibles.
Yeah, I always forget about Tijuana Bibles. I get reminded of them like every 8 months, and I'm like, oh shit, that's right! This has always been a thing! Fuck!
Yeah. That's the thing that just, like, I wouldn't say frustrates me. It's more of like a, come on, are we really gonna rehash this all the time? Of like, why is this so horny? Because some people are horny, and sometimes they're artistic people. And
it's not like this was a secret underground thing. No, it was known. It was known to the fucking creators. Like, I was reading Otto Binder's autobiography last year, the guy who created Mary Marvel. He knew about Mary Marvel Tijuana Bibles because people sent them to him.
Yeah. Like, no matter, like, and here's the thing: some artists will be like, "Please don't," and some artists will be like, "Hell yeah, make art of my characters fucking."
Mm-hmm.
Some people make that art themselves. What's up, Huey?
Hi, Huey.
My friend,
Huey's not
our
watching this.
friend Huey, is a VTuber. He has a webcomic. They have a webcomic. And they also draw smut of their OCs on the side.
By the way, since we're on the topic, and we never are going to get on this fucking topic again, you want to know the most recent time I was reminded that Tijuana Bibles existed?
Huh.
I've been rereading Watchmen.
Oh yeah, Tijuana Bibles is not a plot point, but it's a detail.
Yeah, it's brought up in like the second issue by one of the characters.
Yeah, that's it's a thing. Like Tijuana Bibles, Dojins. You know.
Yeah.
There's probably there's probably a term for horny comics over in England and France.
Everybody's got a fap sometime to something.
Fucking Tezuka made furry porn.
Did he?
Yes, people. When after he passed away, they were going through his desk and they found sketches of erotic anthropomorphic mice.
The goat.
The fucking goat. All that being said, it's okay to be horny, but don't go 100% horny, because then you turn into Bruce Timm and you go, what if Batman and Barbara fucked?
And especially don't get horny over, like, literally toxic abusive relationships.
Exactly. I know Alex Ross didn't mean anything harmful with it, but that one Joker Harley cover he did has done irreparable damage to fucking cosplayers. Like, it's a good art. It's great art. But that is way too romantic, Alex Ross.
Do you think he made the sequel piece as a rebuttal to all that?
Probably. You ready to talk about some news?
Yeah, let's news. There's not a lot of news this week except for Todd's fucking cavalcade of crazy bullshit, but we'll do news.
First off, though, quick recap for future understandings. We're standing in solidarity with SAG and WAG. As such, we're not going to be talking about any news pertaining current or upcoming movies. Other than that, there's no real major strike news. Other than kind of just the same old. The studios are given the same fucking.
There's been a whole lot of drama about the most recently rejected deal, but like we don't need to read everyone else's take.
Yeah, it's very much. It was more of like the WGA and SAG was like, here's what they fucking said no to, and not just speculation. So it's exactly what we all thought. They just said no. Okay. But on to some comic book news. Blade co-creator Marv Wolfman returns to Marvel for Vampire Slayer's 50th anniversary.
Yep, they're doing an issue of What If Dark, that is The Tomb of Dracula, which is the book Blade originally debuted in, under Marv Wolfman's writing. And the pitch for this issue is, what if Blade was cured of his vampirism?
Ooh. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So that's coming out in next month or so, and hey, should be neat.
Also, real quick, I love this design of Blade that's a mix of like classic 70s Blade and a contemporary Blade. It's like a good mix. That's fucking good. Mwah.
Yeah. You gonna read it?
Yeah, I'll pick that up. I like Blade. Marv Wolfman's coming back. It's an anniversary. Marvel's new Spider-Gwen series will introduce more heroes from Earth 65.
Yep, there is a new Spider-Gwen miniseries. It's going to be 4 issues coming up in just another month or so. It's being written by Melissa Flores of Power Rangers fame, and she plans to introduce the Spider-Gwen universe versions of Dazzler and, oh, I forget her name. It was some mutant I'd never heard of before, but is a musician and a teleporter.
I
Um,
think I know who might. Hold on, is it in the article?
I think so, yeah.
Um, Dazzler and Leah Shenny.
Yeah, that person. Um,
Um, okay, since Spider-Gwen's already been a very long established character, as she has been in the comics, and she's very much meant to be a 1-to-1 parallel to 616 Gwen. Do you think they are going to use Dazzler or Lila as basically a way of, hey, here's trans Gwen in the comics, but it's not exactly Gwen. We're trying to like olive branch.
Possibly, I could see that. I have no idea.
And
I haven't read Spider-Gwen consistently ever.
This is rampant speculation. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to say anything of anything. It's just more of like
We need to get a version of your model that has a tinfoil hat.
I had one.
Oh, put that shit on.
No, because that was like forever fucking. That was my second stream. That was the stream.
I remember that.
So yeah, Spider-Gwen. Fucking DNA doing great art though.
Yeah, looks great. It's Melissa Flores. I've been mostly okay with her work on Power Rangers, so I will give it a shot.
DC Flash races into a new era with a new logo.
They redesigned the typeface of the logo on the book. Now Flash himself is the A.
I'm not a big fan of it.
Flash number 801, beginning of the Cy Spurrier run, coming out in just a couple weeks, folks. Be excited, please.
Not a big fan of that, though.
Yeah, I think it looks tacky.
Here's the thing. It could look better if you got rid of the lightning bolt armbands and waistband, because that's just a little too much detail.
Yeah, if it was just a silhouette. Hey, we haven't talked about this. Are you at all interested in picking this up because it's your boy Cy Spurrier?
I don't know. Have I read anything Cy Spurrier?
Yeah, he did all the Nightcrawler shit that you liked recently.
Oh shit, then probably I don't know. Maybe I'm waiting for Uncanny fucking Spider-Man.
Fair enough.
When the fuck's that coming out, Marvel?
Soonish.
When's X-Men Blue coming out, Marvel?
I think that article said it was coming out at the end of September.
Yeah. When's Mystique gonna get someone pregnant, Marvel?
Well, hey, wake Cy Spurrier up when September ends.
DC teases the arrival of a long-forgotten Superman character. Who the fuck is this?
That's comic book Flamebird. They're putting Flamebird back in the comics because there's a running joke about it in My Adventures with Superman.
Oh.
Remember Jimmy's social media thing in that show?
Uh-huh.
His username is Flamebird.
Okay. Where the fuck does this come from?
I had only like barely heard of this character before My Adventures with Superman. I just think it's hilarious that they're going this far of like, oh, there's something like I shouldn't be surprised because they did this all the time with the CW shows, but they're full on going, there's something old in a show that might bring people into a comic book shop. Quick, put it in your book. Put it in your book.
Or maybe the person writing the book was like, oh shit, Flamebird. I hadn't thought of, let's do something with that. Thank you for reminding me.
Also, we were watching wrestling while I was grabbing news links this week, so I didn't take the time to check if this is happening in the main Superman book or Action Comics.
Let's see. Well, I've got Superman character, DC Comics. DC Comics shared their full November 2023 solicitations, including one for Titans, Beast World Tour Metropolis #1, revealing the arrival of Flamebird. This time with Power Girl taking on the mantle. This is Power Girl.
Power? What?
This is Power... revealing the arrival of Flamebird. This time with Power Girl taking on the mantle.
Is this okay? But they said this is happening in the Beast World thing. Is this Leah? Is this Leah Williams or is this fucking Wait, is it Leah Williams or Kelly Thompson that's been writing Power Girl? I don't care. Is it one of them or is it fucking Tom Taylor that's doing this? I need clarification. Jesus Christ.
Buster, Boingo sounded like the Legend of Korra episode recap announcer. Man who's a person who's only heard one transatlantic accent once. This sounds like that one transatlantic accent I heard.
I was thinking it sounded like the voice Mr. Regular tends to use sometimes.
As the ramifications of Titan's battle with Starro reverberates across the globe, Metropolis is hit with an unexpected surge of electricity from, is that? No, it can't be. Livewire? But she's okay, you're gonna have to read this one to believe it. Meanwhile, Supergirl and Dreamer take on the terror of the Flamebird. Power Girl is no longer. And amid the chaos, the threat continues to grow on the horizon. All signs point to a major new shift in the world of Superman and Beast World, Metropolis.
Okay, so both Karas are going to be in this. I have to read it.
Yeah. I have a feeling this is just for the event.
Yeah, this is just a goofy tie-in, it sounds like.
And it's because it's sounding like Power Girl gets taken over by some like beast stuff, and they have to help her.
She gets the beast.
Maybe she gets some flame birdie powers afterwards.
Yeah.
You know.
What if she starts making like Johnny Storm and drawing a Superman's symbol in the sky and fire?
That's a lot more complicated. Hooked on Cars, a Simeon Scott story.
Title of my autobiography.
Amazing Yamaguchi, Agent Venom preview. Look at that, Agent Venom.
Yeah, toy news time, everybody. This is the only image we have of this thing. We'll probably get full solicitation sometime in next month. But yeah, Amazing Yamaguchi sticking with that Spider-Man money. They've already done a classic Venom. Now they're giving us Agent Venom. What's next? Venom Space Knight?
Ooh, that'd be clean. Venom King in Black?
Possibly.
They have done an Agent Venom. Marvel Legends
they did an Agent Venom years ago, like in 2014.
They did an Agent Venom when Agent Venom was a fucking thing in the comics.
Yeah, I think it was a Walgreens exclusive, so good luck finding it on eBay for a decent price.
Yeah. It looks good though. But again, it's an Amazing Yamaguchi, and it's a love it or hate it kind of toy line.
Yeah, it looks good for what it's going for.
Yep. Vern Rants posted some Infinity Saga toys.
Yeah, they had in-package samples of the upcoming Infinity Saga figures for Marvel Legends at Fan Expo Canada this last week. And this gives us our first look at what the exact accessory layouts is going to be for these figures, because they have prototypes on display at SDCC, but they didn't show us any accessories. So obviously alternate hands for everybody. Iron Man's getting some blast effects, and Widow's getting a couple of guns, and Bruce gets... So yeah, they look like decent figures.
That's the thing that one of the guests on our podcast, Vangelis, went to, right?
Yeah, he's been posting lots of images with that one Ultraman statue.
He did it 4 times, and the last time he held up 4 fingers, I was just like, 4 horsemen confirmed.
It's just Vangelis and free Ultramans.
I mean, that'd be the most powerful wrestling stable in the universe.
They don't even have to pin anybody. They just step on the ring.
Mafex, MCU Captain America, and the Eradicator.
It's time for our monthly Mafex pre-orders, everybody. First of all, we have Eradicator based on specifically on his original appearance in Reign of the Supermen. And he looks pretty okay. I've never been a huge fan of this design, and I think this is kind of lacking in accessories, but it's probably the best figure of Eradicator that's ever been made.
If it came with a more contemporary Eradicator full black face of just like shiny face, I think this would be beautiful.
Yeah. Buster, Eradicator is a Kryptonian robot that is basically a Nazi. It was created to preserve the Kryptonian gene pool.
God damn it, Buster. Taking what I say out of context. The contemporary version of the Eradicator doesn't have a flesh tone. It's like
He's
black
more
gemstone.
overtly a robot.
Yeah. And I was saying, great costume, but if you had the more contemporary face, which I prefer, it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
He still have the glasses, though.
Yeah.
And MCU cap.
Yep. This is very specifically meant to be the Winter Soldier classic costume cap from the end of the movie when he steals it from the museum. And
gets Stan Lee fired, so he has to get a job at FedEx.
Yeah. The only real difference is the number of stripes. I went to look into it when this got originally revealed, and it's literally like there's a white stripe running down the middle in the first Avenger, but then in this movie they changed it to be a red stripe running down the middle.
All right, whatever. They
Knuck and
both look
Futz.
good.
Yeah. They're not figures I would particularly want, but they look solid for what they are. Maybe the colors are a little bright on Cap, but not going to ruin it for anybody.
No. And Eradicator is also just like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
DC
One more step until they finish the Reign of Superman group.
Who they have left?
Superboy.
Oh.
Yeah. And they've already shown him at an event.
The Metropolis Kid.
He'll get announced at some point. But anyway, Batman.
Multiverse, Clayface, Batman, and Batwoman 3-pack live. Look at this happy family.
This is Amazon exclusive, one of many exclusives Todd announced this week. Hey, Dayton. This is essentially a re-release of their Rebirth Batman and Megafig Clayface. Clayface has some slightly different overtones to his paint scheme, and the saturation's been turned way up on Batman. But Batwoman is an entirely new figure, and she hasn't had a multiverse figure yet. So this is essentially a fuck you, overpay to get Batwoman pack, unless you're smart and patient, because she'll probably get a single release at some point.
Oh, yeah. Sapphics, hold on a moment. You'll get her eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you know what? If you want all three of these characters, good fucking deal.
Yeah. I've heard great things about that Clayface. I probably will end up with it eventually. I don't know if it'll be for this pack yet, though, because I don't love that costume. I've not liked the Batman. I mean, I've not loved that Batman costume.
Yeah, because that's not a costume Clayface is wearing. That's his skin.
Yeah, I do have a little bit of attachment to that Batman though, just because he was wearing that costume for most of Tom King's run, and I love Tom King's run. So
yeah,
50-50.
Overall, it's cool, nice, neat. Multiverse Atomic Skull versus Superman.
This is a BBTS exclusive 2-pack, and it is a lot of reuse. We've had basically that entire Superman unchanged before. Those flame effects came with something else before. And Atomic Skull is a purple translucent casting of their Power Armor Lex Luthor with a new head and 2 new option hands. But it's the first time in a long time Atomic Skull has had an action figure, so I think plenty of people are going to go after this either way.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It works for Atomic Skull.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you didn't say, oh, Lex Luthor, I wouldn't have thought about it. It's just like, oh, yeah, no, that's Atomic Skull. I wish he was green, but that's Atomic Skull.
Yep. It's weird. Depending on the book, Atomic Skull is either green or purple, and I think people have very specific attachments depending on where they first saw him. And I think we can both agree he should be green, because I first saw him in Justice League Unlimited. I don't know about you.
Oh, yeah, no, it was very much in the animated universe. Plus, here's the thing. Green is atomic. I don't make the rules. If it's radioactive, it's green.
Yeah, you don't see the Hulk running around with purple skin. That's Thanos' thing.
And he's just a weirdo deviant. Literally, that is why Thanos looks the way he does. He
Yes, I
has
get the pun.
multiverse Dark Knight trilogy Joker interrogation set.
This is another BBTS exclusive, or actually, I think this is a Target exclusive. There's so many exclusives this week; it's hard to keep it straight. But this is basically the Dark Knight Joker we already have, but it's got new arms and a new head to make it look like that scene, and you get bonus table chair and handcuffs. If I was into this scale, I'd be tempted to get this just for those accessories, but as is, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I think this is really worth the money for most people. Like they should have thrown a new figure in here to like sweeten the pot a little bit more. Like where's Gordon with a hankering for a cup of coffee?
Yeah. You know what? It's cool to see props like this, though.
Yeah.
No, overall, it's cool. It's a thing. You can buy it.
Yep. It's a famous scene from the movie, so it makes sense.
Animated series returns via Target Geek Out. Look at all these. Look at all these
Yep.
things.
Target announced a bunch of shit because Target was having a big online event this week. So first of all, collector's edition Hawkman. We got in hand proper product images of him. I still don't love this design for Hawkman, but there's been worse designs for the character.
No, but it's fine.
Mhm.
God damn it, so many photos. Joker Eyes Two-Face.
Yep.
All right, cool. Gimmick toy.
Yeah, who cares?
Um,
Joker Eyes Scarecrow.
Gimmick toy. I'm sorry about this. There's so many
Yeah.
photos. Sinestro, hell yeah.
Collector's edition Sinestro, who actually looks really good. This is the best Sinestro figure I've seen in a little bit here.
It definitely looks like Sinestro from like the middle of the Ring Wars.
But that is my preferred look for Sinestro. I've always thought his classic costume was kind of goofy, but the Sinestro core costume, that's a fucking choice ass design, and they did a really good job of capturing it here.
Yeah, that's good. Solid. Love the lantern.
Love that it comes with an effects part.
Yeah. Bat Cycle.
Now, this stuff is interesting because I remember we were talking about this on our STC show, and we were saying, like, oh man, Todd's finally breaking into 6-inch. It's going to be really interesting to see how these turns out. And this is like their attempt to swap out because the Batman 66 stuff is no longer Target exclusive. You can get that at any store now. So they're throwing this in as like, here's Target's new exclusive subline. This is all actually re-releases of the old DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series line with added cell shading.
Oh.
This is not new tooling, it's not new sculpting. It's all the same stuff but in new boxes. So we've had the Spike before, we've had all the figures in this wave before. They just broke Condiment King up into a Build-A-Figure, and the cell shading doesn't even look that great. I think it kind of looks like Batman got tossed in some mud there.
Yeah, like the animated Marvel Legends have had a lot better cell shading.
Yeah. Like, on the one hand, I could see playing devil's advocate for these because, like, those figures are incredibly expensive on the secondary market these days, and they were only ever sold in comic book shops, so having them at regular retail is probably really good for anybody who missed them. But on the other hand, it's pretty lazy, and they don't look as good as the originals, in my opinion.
Yeah. Robin doesn't look as bad.
Yeah, that's legal, Buster. Remember, Todd bought all the assets of DC Collectibles after DC Comics dissolved them.
Scarecrow looks fine. Didn't you guys have like horrible ankles?
The first wave did, and then they fixed that with all the later waves. There were just some weird tolerances on stuff that led to a lot of breakages.
I was more saying like
wave.
Specifically some like the Joker had weird ankles.
The Joker and that first Batman were like, and I would know because I bought that first Batman twice, and it broke on me both times within like the first day of having it open, which turned me off the whole rest of that line.
Scarecrow doesn't look bad, but again, it is just reissues of things.
It's a good rendition of that Scarecrow. Cool that it comes with an unmasked head.
Mr. Freeze.
He looks, I don't know, something about him says like he's not going to be that dynamic to me. Something about his design looks really restricted.
You mean this pose?
I mean, I haven't seen that image before, but yeah. But that is how he looked in the show, so I mean, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Condiment King. All
They
right.
look better as finals than action figures. Yeah, I can see that, Buster.
Yeah.
Um,
Condiment King is also not bad in terms of cell shading.
yeah, he looks okay. It's just Batman and Robin who look weird, honestly.
It's very much like it's very much the brighter color ones look better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, all right, cool. Minor disappointments.
Yeah.
Some then, more disappointments. It looks like.
Yeah, the collector's edition wave also got put on general retailers, and we found out that there's also a Firestorm.
Oh, is this Hawkman from Zero? This is the 0 Hour Hawkman?
Is that what it's based on?
Hold on, this says. Hawkman 0 Hour.
Yeah, how about that? Well, then what's Sinestro based on? Does it say?
Sinestro Wars. So yeah, the Ring Wars.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so a lot of the photos we saw already, but let's look at the one we didn't. Firestorm.
Yeah. Looks like a good Firestorm. I like that he comes with flame effects.
Blue Beetle before Blue Beetle was Blue Beetle.
Did you see the other day, by the way, Paul or Dan DiDio shared a photo of a shirt the DC offices gifted him after the last issue of what is it, Infinite Crisis came out, where he kills off the Blue Beetle that comes before Jaime. And it just says, I killed Blue Beetle and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
No, this is Firestorm. He was like DC's big teenage hero in the 80s, wasn't he?
Yeah. He's a fairly well-known character that's still used every once in a while. He was a big supporting character in the Arrowverse for a long time, I know. And like he's one of the ride-along characters in Crisis on Infinite Earths, but I don't know, he hasn't been like super prominent in comics recently. Also, hey Nightmare, thanks for stopping by.
He was in Doomsday Clock.
Was he? I still haven't read Doomsday Clock.
Yeah, he accidentally turned several people into glass.
Oh, I remembered him saying that in the Comic Pop episode.
Yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's where he's from.
Okay.
Even his name is similar. Ronnie Raymond.
Mm-hmm.
Jaime Reyes. Ronnie Raymond. Multiverse Brainiac Injustice 2 video game action figure. Look, here's your Injustice Buster. It's Brainiac.
Yeah, Todd hasn't forgotten. He still has friends at NetherRealm. They're gonna put Spawn back in the game, right?
They're gonna put Cowboy Spawn in the game. No! Put the Max in the game.
I don't think Todd has any affiliation with the Max.
No, I'm just saying in general, because it'd be funny.
You know what? They should put fucking, like, Grifter in the game. Just get fucking Jim and Todd at the same fucking promotional events and capture Todd's reaction on camera. But no, this looks okay.
Yeah.
I don't feel either way about this design. Like, it's a fine Brainiac design.
It's a Brainiac.
I've not played the game, so I don't know the context of it, but hey, could we get a classic Brainiac or like a animated universe Brainiac at some point?
Give us a Brainiac with the mustache.
Mm-hmm. Or like the Brainiac that's literally just a robot. I still can't get used to comic Brainiac because of how much an impression Timverse Brainiac left on me. But anyways, Ninja Turtles.
We're getting the Mezco 5-point TMNT box set.
Yeah, so these are essentially Nendoroids.
Nendoroid has a little bit more articulation than that, technically.
That's true, but they are
They're just meant to.
5-point articulated bodies. They have Kenner style articulation, but they have a fuck ton of optional arms and legs so that you can get them in all the iconic turtle poses.
Yeah, they look very. They look very Mirage. They look cool.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a
They're
Turtles
clearly
fan,
meant to be first appearance turtles.
yeah, they look
Which
neat.
is cool. We haven't gotten those in a long time, actually.
If you want some cute turtles, here's some cute turtles.
Yeah, because they're also like this tall.
Yeah. A lot of accessories, a lot of belts, a lot of legs, a lot of arms.
Yep. You can do all kinds of stuff with them if that's your jam. And I know there are people who really like their 5-point articulated stuff, so go for it. It's just not for me. I almost bought the Ultraman set they did last year a couple times, but no dice.
Oh, yeah, that's all the news. Are you ready to talk about some comics we read this week?
Yes, let's talk about comic books on our comic book podcast. That
Real
would be
quick, I
fun.
didn't double check with you. You did read those 3 issues you said you were reading, right?
Yes.
Okay. Because they're in here as if you did.
The slides are correct.
No, they're not, because remember, the first one wasn't.
Oh, no.
It said 2012, not 2023. Just whenever you see that slide, just take a Sharpie, cross out 12, and put 23 on your screen.
Yeah, just literally Sharpie it out on your monitor. It will help out so much with all your future endeavors. I guarantee it.
It'll make me feel a lot better.
Mhm.
So, first book we're talking about, I read Black Panther, number 3.
Hey, what happened to T'Challa's mask?
That's more symbolic and metaphorical.
Oh, well done.
This guy is kind of like I don't want to say he's a mob boss, but he's a guy trying to get like power and influence in the area of Wakanda they're in. And T'Challa's going like, he's doing some criminal machinations. I'm going to Black Panther and basically be Batman. This run of Black Panther is literally, what if we made him more like Batman?
New drinking game. Take a shot every time Boingo says this run is just Black Panther as Batman.
It's good though.
Yeah, but you've said it with every issue so far.
Yeah. What else? If it's doing the thing, why not say it's doing the thing?
I don't know, Donnie.
We both read Captain America finale.
Yeah, the one shot to end the Jackson and Lanzig run, even though we already had a one shot that felt like the end of the Jackson and Lanzig run. But this one's big and bombastic, and they're taking out the big threat that Jackson and Lanzig set up so that JMS doesn't have to deal with it.
Yeah, it feels very much like it wasn't like they didn't know who was going to be taking the next step, but like after everyone talked, it's like, hey, we kind of just don't want this plot line to fall by the wayside and be forgotten. Mm-hmm. Can we just wrap it up completely?
Let's just put a bow on it, because we all know from his Spider-Man run that JMS does not give a shit about what people were doing before him or like pre-established lore. He's going to take a look at a character, get his take, and then do what he wants to do.
Yeah, and I don't think JMS was like, no, fuck everything you were doing, I'm going to do my own thing. I think it was just like everyone involved was just like, yeah, we were setting things up to be like a thing that could be in the background, but it may be just better if we just actually put an end to it, give it a finale, than just let it hang in the ether and be forgotten.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's a fairly solid finale. There's a lot of fun little moments in this issue. Cap gets a couple really good speeches, and Bucky is fully redeemed. It's like it never even happened.
It is very much a cautionary move. It is very much a, let's just be safe and give it an end.
Yeah.
I mean, hey,
it's one of those things that in 20 years somebody brings it up in their run and everybody's like, oh shit.
Here's the thing, that can still happen because all the bad guys are still alive technically.
True.
A lot of good stuff. It's fun.
Yeah,
It's a good
art's solid.
it's a good wrap up of not the themes of that was going on, but all the plot.
Hmm. I dug watching Sharon and what's his new name?
No, he's Nomad.
Oh yeah, watching Sharon and Nomad just essentially fight Sentai mooks for a couple pages.
Yeah. The only thing I'm going to be a little bit sad about with this run being over and JMS taking over, JMS isn't bringing blue hair pronouns person back.
Yeah, I
He's not
think
bringing
all of
back
the
socialist bar buddy back.
yeah, I think all of those characters are going to be gone for at least a little while. I'll be surprised if he even thinks to bring in Redacted.
Yeah. They were more
We've told
feminine.
you about that 3 times, Buster.
Yeah, Steve Rogers goes back to art school. He befriends a bunch of people there. One of them is a blue hair pronouns kind of person. I'm saying blue hair pronouns not because they actually are non-binary in the comic, but more of that's the vibe the character's supposed to give off.
Yeah, that's the look.
Yeah. Steve Rogers also befriends an ardent socialist at a bar.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fun. But yeah, no, Captain America good.
Yeah.
We both read Realm of X as
So
part of the fall of X.
this book probably should be really exciting to me. I felt so tired after reading it
Yeah,
because it's a lot of the mystical magical X-Men bullshit.
yeah, but that's magic, baby.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: it's less about that, and it's just more of like these people are put in a situation that is dumb bullshit magic, and they don't understand any of it.
Hmm. It also didn't help that I only recognized Magic, Moonstar, and
Typhoid
Typhoid
Mary.
Mary. I had to like look at the names and then think for a second and go like, I think I've seen them in a book before. Like I think I know who Dust is.
Dust has been around. Marrow has been around. Curse is a character you haven't come across a lot. She was the one that cursed Charles and made everything go bad. So yeah,
Okay.
her
Okay.
power is she has to curse someone else to have a negative outcome. But if she curses someone for a positive outcome, it hurts her.
Mm,
You know.
yeah. And she gets up to some fun mischief in this issue.
Oh yeah. I also really enjoy Typhoid Mary just being the most sardonic New Yorker of just like I know.
Yeah, she gave off I forget which character, but she reminded me of somebody from Friends, basically.
Yeah.
And is it just me, or did it feel incredibly convenient that Magic's powers aren't working? Oh, the portal lady can't make portals because then they could easily get out of this situation.
Yeah, but I also have a feeling it's kind of like her magic has been waning and being weird recently, and like it's gone through changes. So it makes sense that in this new environment, it's it's in flux. It's fine.
Yeah. It also feels like we're building up to very much a certain thing about like the same kind of ongoing theme that's been with Magic anytime she's gotten focus in the last couple of years is the things that you classically know about Ileana Rasputin aren't what make her who she is. It's these other things that are more inherent to her as a person.
Yeah. Also, Moon is good. All the characters are good. They're well written.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
wonder when
fine.
Thor's gonna show up because they're in the Nine Realms now.
Yeah, that was a thought I had. I was like, is there gonna be like a warrior free character guest starring in this book at some point?
Well, I mean, one of the most classic stories for the New Mutants was them being trapped in fucking Asgard and all the other Nine Realms.
Mm,
Yeah. So, like, this is old hat for her.
interesting.
Yeah. Realm of X. Are you going to keep reading it?
We'll see how busy I am when the next issue comes out.
Fair enough. I'll read it first and tell you how magic it is. How magic bullshit it is. Not
How
magic character.
magical it is!
Not magic the character. You read Penguin #1.
Yes, the beginning of Tom King's first ongoing in a long, long time.
Oh, this is an ongoing?
Yep. And King says he has the first arc fully planned out and written, but they also have ideas for far beyond that. And you definitely get that sense from this first issue that like this first arc, however long it is, because I don't think they've said how many issues it is. It definitely does feel like it's going to be one contained story that's going to get Penguin to a certain place as a character. Because for those of you who don't know, Penguin's status quo is a little weird right now. He got kicked out of Gotham because all of his illegitimate children from over the years got together and decided to sue the shit out of him and won his entire criminal enterprise. And this is essentially a book about him being forced to go and take it back because he's actually living in Metropolis right now. And he's really happy just being a house husband for this tall, sexy lady who does some thing for work. I don't know, they never say, but she comes home and he's making dinner like a housewife. So there you go. And also, he's got a fairly regular routine that the person narrating tells you is like almost the same thing every day. He goes, he meets with his tailor, they check his clothes and whatnot. He goes and gets lunch at the same spot. He goes to the same spot in the park and feeds the birds. Ha ha ha. And then he goes to the grocery store, gets dinner, and makes dinner for his wife. And that's the man's day. But a character who I honestly never expected to see again, even though they were teased for a return at some point, shows up and reveals themselves as the one that's been narrating and kidnaps him and basically goes, "Hi, I'm the secret agent lady who was working for the FBI in Batman Killing Time. Now I've been through a bunch of physical therapy so that I can walk again and say things other than swear words. So I've been hired on because of my incredible willpower with a generic DC secret government organization, and we need you to bring stability back to the Gotham criminal underworld. So you're going to go and you're going to take your criminal enterprise back from your kids, or we're going to kill your wife." And he's like, "God fucking damn it, okay."
This feels like it could very much be Tom King's Breaking Bad.
Yeah, especially because it's bookended by a flash forward where Penguin and Batman are about to drown to death in a sinking bat boat.
Mm.
And it's like they've both been shot and can barely move. So it's what's going to happen? I wonder when we'll actually catch up to that.
Oh, man. You mean Tom King is writing a crime noir involving secret agents? Who could have guessed that Tom King would write a crime noir with secret agents?
Also, Buster, Tom King hasn't written an ongoing since his Batman run ended. Everything he's done has been mini and maxi series. The only reason this is his first ongoing in forever, actually, is because his Wonder Woman run technically hasn't started yet. It'll start next month. And also, everything this man writes is technically Eisner bait. The Eisners love Tom King.
He does good work.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, good book. Would you recommend?
I really liked it. I'll probably keep coming back to this.
Okay. I read Darkwing Duck #8.
Hey, how was the silly duck man?
They're on the search for Launchpad's compass. They're going to the North Pole. They can't go there because Launchpad can't navigate. He doesn't have his compass. Womp womp. So Gizmo Duck shows up and helps them out. They go to the North Pole. We get a couple One Piece references.
All right.
Yeah, this is fun.
Nice.
There's also 2 polar bears. No, 3 polar bears are wearing Usopp's hat, Chopper's hat, and Trographer Law's hat.
Good lord.
This
It's a
is
sickness, I tell you.
this is a boingo ass comic, and also this is just a good cover. This is solid work.
Yeah, that is a pretty solid cover. I do like that.
And it again, it's continuing to feel like a Darkwing Duck issue, a Darkwing Duck episode, which is all I want.
Hooray!
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I read Jean Grey.
Yeah, I wanted to read this. I just didn't have time.
This is Jean Grey running through simulations of what she could have done different to see if there was something she could have done different.
So when is this supposed to be taking place? Is this like in her final moments at the Hellfire Gala? This whole book? Jesus Christ.
So far, that's what it seems like, because she's lying in there and she's going like, I am dead again. But that's not new for me. Could I have done something different? And so basically, this one is, what if when the young X-Men went back to their original timeline, they didn't erase their memories?
It's a big ass what if comic, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's literally Jean
Where's
Grey.
Chip's logo, Marvel?
It's Jean Grey progressively getting more and more unhinged as she's just like, all right, oh, Magneto, oh, you're a problem. And we only saw you as a problem and never saw you have character development because we left right before Krakoa. I'm just gonna mind whammy you and put you in a coma. And everyone's like, Jean, should you have done that? You know Magneto, he's a monster. And Xavier's like, fuck, Jean. What the fuck you doing?
Jean, that was my boyfriend!
So they all go live in Warren's apartment.
Okay.
Because he has money. Because they got kicked out of the mansion. Because Jean Grey fucked over Magneto. Like, it's hilarious. It's good. It's dramatic. It's not like, oh, it's funny, but it's like, yeah, that would be what happened. And then things progressively start getting worse for mutants, and Jean Grey goes like, all right, cool. We know who are mutants. Let's just go find them, kidnap them, and take them to Xavier to be safe.
Oh my god.
So they kidnap Kitty Pryde, before her power even emerges.
Oh my god.
They kidnap Danny before her power emerges. They kidnap Cannonball's power right after it emerges. And they just show up to Xavier, and he's just playing chess with Magneto, and they're both in wheelchairs, because that's all, like... And it's just like...
They're matching couples wheelchairs.
They are the same wheelchair. They are literally the same wheelchair. And literally, it's just Jean tries to do something good for mutants, and it fucks up. And she goes like, no, I can control this. I can do this. Until eventually she summons the Phoenix Force, and she just murders all of her friends. And she's just like, I don't got this. And then current Jean Grey's like, all right, that's not when I should fix things. Where else could I try and fix things? It's very much of like, all right, that plan wouldn't work.
I'm going to make a bold prediction. This book is going to go until they revive her again. And the ending of the book is her going to be going, now is when I fix things, because now is the only time we really have.
Yeah, maybe. It's good. It's well written. The characters are well done. It's a good exploration of like Jean's want of like control and making sure everything works right and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Or it's good too. Deadpool number 10.
End of this series, right?
End of this series. First things first, I've been doing something about the book. The character that Deadpool starts dating is non-binary. I've been saying girlfriend, their partner, be more specific, they, them, that kind of thing. It's me not paying attention.
Speaking of pronouns in Marvel, you know what else I noticed this week?
Huh.
They were using they them pronouns for Loki in 4.
Basically, Deadpool's partner, needle arm person, is being possessed by evil crime empire person thing. And Deadpool basically goes like, "Hey, I'd love you if you were a worm." What? No, I love you because you're you. I don't give a shit if you have weird horns. I care about you, and that snaps them out of it. And they save the day, and they just get to live happily ever after. Till the Hellfire Gala, that is.
Oh, adorable.
Yeah. It's well written. Good. It's cute. It's very rom-com-y. You read Click, Click, Boom!
Yeah, issue number 3 of this series. It's still very enjoyable and a little bit heartbreaking because this issue, we lose our ride-along character.
Buster, nothing happens to their relationship at the Hellfire Gala. Just the Hellfire Gala, all the mutantdom stuff happens. So Deadpool's going on an adventure.
Yeah.
That's don't worry.
But yeah, we lose our ride-along character here, and we fully transition into the sort of gimmick character as she's been portrayed for most of the series up till now as the main character of the book. And it's a little bit sad, but it's very well done, I think. And I'm interested to see where the story goes from here. It's hard to talk about this book without just explaining the whole thing from scratch because it is such a wild, out there, unrelated to superhero stuff, independent book.
Overall good, though?
Yeah, I'm still enjoying it.
That's good. We both read Invincible Iron Man.
Yeah. So she was pretty good.
Yeah. It is very much, hey, Tony, things are fucked. Yeah, Emma, things are fucked. I have a plan. What's your plan? You're not gonna like the plan. I don't like this plan, but it'll work. Fuck.
I also just love in the art the contrast of like Tony looks like a garbage man this whole fucking issue. Like he just looks like he walked out of a gutter even before he has his big breakdown moment. And Emma is in a Morlock tunnel sitting on an overturned shopping cart and she still looks drop dead gorgeous.
Oh yeah. I love the little moments where it's like they actually realize, oh, you're a good person and you care and you want to do good. And I've greatly overestimated the superficiality that everyone thinks of our characters.
Mm-hmm. Just because these characters don't have a lot of in common doesn't mean they can't learn to love each other. Like, yes, the wedding is a scheme to help mutant kind out and get Tony's butt out of the fire, but they might also learn to love and respect each other in the process.
I don't think they're going to be like in love. I think it's going to be there's a moment they care about each other and then they look at each other and go like, this won't work. I'd rather us just really be fond of each other than stay together and hate each other.
You know what they're going to be when it's all said and done? They're going to be that couple that's on better terms as divorced than married.
They're going to marry. They're going to go like, that was a good year. No
Let's
more.
not do it again.
Any more of this and I will rip your throat out.
And I will be shocked if there's never a scene that's just them in bed and, well, I guess that we're not compatible that way, huh? Yeah, well, it's kind of your own fault. I wanted to know what it was like. You wanted to know what it was like to fuck a diamond?
I mean, no one else has been curious about that? No! He's too autistic to ask about that!
Sex jokes aside, though,
Cyclops is autistic. Headcanon confirmed.
Yeah, sex jokes and mental illness jokes aside, I did get pretty sad when there was that again. Tony's breakdown is a real fucking gut wrencher, and less so, but still very much there when Emma says she can't feel the cuckoos anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I love the moment where she goes back into Tony's head and she goes like, think of a happy place. Think of a place where you feel safe. Because
And
I
he
don't
goes
want.
to the Hall of Armor.
And she's like, really? This place? And he's like, yeah, this is where I can. This is where I can protect people. And she's like, oh, that's kind of sweet. Also, modular armor in background confirm.
Yeah, they had a lot of good cameos in that scene.
Yeah. It's good. Also, Kingpin's back in New York and he's helping out the mutants because he wants his wife back.
Mm-hmm.
But his wife.
I don't know if he wants his wife back. I think he's like, my wife is dead and I'm pissed.
Yeah, I mean, he would like his wife back.
Yeah.
And Typhoid
In
Mary's
his mind,
alive.
that's not happening.
And Typhoid Mary's alive, so she can come back.
Oh, yeah, there's going to be a lot of. Because a lot less mutants than we thought initially are dead. There's going to be a lot of like tearful reunions in a few months.
5 mutants are dead. Like 4 or 5. No, more like 4 because Juggernaut's not a mutant.
Yeah.
Dazzler, Jubilee.
Yeah, that whole team.
That whole team,
dead.
They're dead. And they're treating their death with severity. It's not like, oh.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. Also, I'm loving the stealth suit that Tony's been developing.
Mm-hmm.
That's
it's
also in
design.
Avengers. That's in Avengers right now. It's his Avenger suit. Doom Patrol, Unstoppable Doom Patrol, issue number 5. This feels like it's a direct parody of everything that's been going on with the X-Men lately.
You mean like the whole rest of the book? Yeah. A little bit.
Because like legitimately, it's an evil human organization that wants to use mutants for their own gain. It's Orcus.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's very on the nose this time around, and I can imagine there's probably some big fans of the Krakoa era that are very annoyed at this book, but like...
I was a little annoyed at the one where they were just going like that was just like, hey, we're doing actual X-Men shit, not being weird, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. But the thing is, Doom Patrol has always been DC's low-rent version of the X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is what we do here. This is fine. This is fun. This is whatever. I don't love this. I don't hate this.
I do like how the old mentors like, hey, I had a fucked up concept of trauma. Trauma doesn't make people better. It's recovering and healing from it that makes people better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was a great moment.
Because that's true in real life. Trauma doesn't make you better. It's how it's being able to heal and process from things that hurt you.
Yeah, maybe you want to go back and finish the Doom Patrol show. I need to do that at some point soon.
Overall, fun issue.
Yeah.
I do like the angry guy, how he's integrating into the team.
Yeah.
It's fun. You read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers number 111.
Can you guess my favorite song from Mystery Science Theater 3000?
No.
It's I Tried to Kill You with a Forklift, but I'm starting to think Melissa Flores' favorite song from that show is Padding, 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 Padding. Because that's a lot of this issue. Like, it's good, it's solid, there's a little bit of character pathos in there, but this is basically the same as last month's issue. It's just the big oh shit moment at the end is slightly different. Last month it was they opened the portal to summon Dark Spectre. At the end of this issue, it's Dark Spectre's here.
Yeah.
Great.
Has there ever been a forklift Zord?
No, but there should be.
Has there ever been a forklift Sentai Mecha?
I don't think so. We need a forklift certified Sentai character.
Legitimately, I would laugh so hard if that was like the Sixth Ranger. And like that's like his
next time they do a comedy season, they should do that.
The only thing is, I don't think forklift certified is a meme in Japan.
It's true.
Like that's a fair like. But I would imagine they would also find that meme hilarious because certificates of jobs is a thing in Japan, and that's an important thing. And it's just like, I'm forklift certified, so that makes me cool. It's like, what? It's funny.
Yeah.
Get your forklift certification at www.modularfuck.
Yeah, I can train people. I'm forklift certified. That's not a joke. I literally drove a forklift for 2 years.
I know. That's why I'm giggling. We both read X-Force.
It's okay. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Piotr, you bastard.
Yeah. Pietor's not in control.
Yeah.
It's Pietor's brother, you bastard.
Yeah. Like, shit.
Yeah, Hellfire Gala, all the bullshit's happening there, and the X-Force is going, like, we should probably go help. And Pietor's going, no, I'm going to take you to Russia.
No, he goes, I know a secret back door that'll get us there way faster. And then he takes them to Russia.
Yeah. And it's just like, oh, we're dealing with this now. Okay.
This is how we get these mutants out of the way so that most of the world thinks all the mutants are dead.
Also, Domino finds out that Pietor killed his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Was forced to kill his wife.
Yeah.
She
should be like first in line when they get the resurrection protocols back up and running, right?
Yeah. But that's gonna be a rough wake up. It's like, hey, honey, I was under mind control.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
will she even remember that though? When's the last time Xavier made a backup of her?
Yeah, but we know Colossus. He'd fucking tell her, it's like, hey, I was under mind control. Yeah,
but I did this, and I have trauma from it, and you might have trauma from it too. I'm sorry. Do you want to go to couples counseling?
I kind of want to be alone for a little bit. But yeah, no, good. It's Percy's X-Force. It's good. It's solid work.
Yeah, a couple good Deadpool gags in here. I liked him as the secretary.
You read Night Terrors, Action Comics, #1.
Yeah, another 2-issue mini. I just went with the first issue cover here because it's more of like a complete cover, whereas the second issue is like 2 images slammed together. Because this is 2 stories for the price of one. Half the book is a Power Girl story, the other half is the rest of the Superman family minus Superman and Lois. And Kara, come to think of it. Kara isn't in this. Interesting. But the Power Girl one is essentially she's having a Groundhog Day dream. She keeps going through the same dreams over and over again. The same, like, there's 3 different nightmares that she keeps going through over and over again and just fighting her way out. And there's no like clever, like, oh, I figured out a way to beat the game by not playing it. It's just she does it like 500 fucking times and wears out the machine that's got her under.
Oh.
And then the rest of the Superman family is all the kids are watching a scary movie in Clark and Lois's apartment because they're also babysitting the twins. And then they're like, oh, the twins actually got scared because of the movie. Why don't we all just sleep over? Because Clark and Lois are not here for some reason. That's weird. Whatever. We'll just all go to sleep in the living room. And then the twins start having a nightmare that Connor got turned into Cyborg Superman and Hank Henshaw is back and trying to kill them. And then they all realize, like, oh, it's not, they're not having a nightmare. You're having a nightmare, Hank Henshaw. You got somehow pulled into this whole thing. We got to wake you up so that we can all wake up. And oh shit, Night Terrors is happening. I guess we better go help with that. It's very simple, both the plots, but there's a couple little fun moments here and there in there. If you like what they've been doing with these characters up until now, this is a nice little bonus thing to check out, but I wouldn't say it's essential to the arcs of either characters.
This is also just a really good cover of, like, It feels very slasher movie. It's good.
Oh yeah. And I think they're watching a slasher movie in that Super Kids story.
Hmm. We both read The Immortal Thor.
Yes, Al Ewing's next big I'm gonna paint
Redefine the
my
character.
fucking image of a character that everybody knows and loves, and you're all gonna deal with it. Um I thought this was good, but not the kind of good I enjoy.
That's fair. It is very
It,
mythology.
it is a four comic.
He did Immortal Hulk.
Yeah, he's the Immortal Hulk guy. He's
That's why
just
he's called
essentially
Immortal.
porting that branding over to four.
Yeah. Um, Here's the thing. If you are a mythology nerd, like I am somewhat,
Mhm.
this book is a pants crapping moment.
Yeah, when the big guy shows up, I was like, "Oh shit, Zeus is here." Wait, it's
That's
not
not
Zeus?
Zeus.
It's not Zeus? Who the fuck is this? Did they
Okay.
make up a guy?
No,
What?
they okay. So a lot of research and kind of stuff has been done into the development of religions as culture, as anthropologically, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So Norse, Celtic, Irish myth, Britannic myth, all of them are not inherently 100% connected, but they all have a similar familial lineage to a greater Celtic myth of like that kind of area of Europe. And I say Norse because it's very related. It has more of its own thing. But in that myth, there is certain figures and whatnot that are big figures, and one of them is a big archetypal guy, a sky god who carries a wheel.
And that's this dude?
And that's this dude. He is basically first draft Thor.
Hmm.
And like remember power and mythology and shadows and all this kind of stuff. He is powerful. He is abstract. He is not fully like he is not mortal coil.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. And like that's ugh.
Okay. Well, that's neat. That's interesting. I didn't find it super enticing. And also a lot of the dialogue was kind of hard for me to follow because of how flowery old school 4 comic it is, and the fact that they're using that fucking font. I hate the
Yeah.
4 font.
Yeah.
I have a real hard time reading it. Um I did like there were a few moments that I did enjoy. Like I liked Loki coming back and remaking the Bifrost. I liked sort of the banter between Four, Sif, and the Warriors 3. And just the idea that as soon as there's a clear sky, frost giants run for the hills. That was a funny moment.
I love him Thor just going like, what the fuck you doing, Sky? You're my Sky. Why are you following these chumps?
Mm-hmm. That being said, I don't think I'm going to keep up with this. I think this is something I'm going to have to vicariously enjoy through you.
And me explain like, oh yeah, here's this big mythology thing of like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You're gonna be like Gilgamesh was in this one. I'm like, wow, the Eternal? No, the God.
Gilgamesh wasn't a god. He was a heroic figure,
Well,
like Beowulf.
Okay.
Gilgamesh and Enkidu.
Yeah.
What's the other thing? Oh yeah, Thor beat up Orcus and hung out with trans people and drank beer.
Yeah, that one was awesome. I love the whole sequence of him coming down and being like, people forget because he's the fucking king of Asgard now. Thor loves Earth. Earth is his place.
Because they make a point of saying like his mom is fucking Gaia, who is also revealed to be as like part of these fucking abstract gods.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Al Ewing made the abstracts in like Earth 3 in the third universe.
Yeah, his Defenders book.
Yeah. He's probably playing a little bit with that.
Maybe.
Oh, we should also like. Should we mention any of the god stuff that's been going on? It's just hints and stuff. Of,
I'm
like,
not reading it. I don't care. I'm waiting for the actual fucking book to come out.
yeah, there's interesting things happening. It's my big concern is like, where are they gonna collect all of those? Are they just gonna put
There
them
will
at
be
the
a
end
trade, and that will be like
the
that'll probably be stitched into the first Gods trade somehow.
yeah. I read Venom number 24.
Ooh, Doom. You might want to get like some Windex going on there.
So Eddie Brock is flying to Latveria.
Mm-hmm.
He gets stopped by Latverian TSA, which are Doombots.
Of course they are.
And the Doombot goes like, "Hey, what are you declaring?" It's just a scary on. Now here's the thing. I'm a Doombot. I can tell you're lying. What the fuck are you doing? And Eddie Brock just goes like, "All right," and just starts beating everything up. And then we cut to Doctor Doom, and a Doombot's going like, "Hey, so Eddie Brock is here, and we couldn't stop him. Why couldn't you stop him? He got away. So you failed. Doom cannot fail. I am in the vistas of Doom. Blow up."
Yep, of course.
Then Eddie Brock busts through the door. Just like, "Rah!" And Doom's
I
like,
think I've seen this panel. Doesn't Doom just go, "Oh, hey, Eddie, you want some dinner?"
"Yeah, I could eat." And they start eating. And Doom's like, "Okay, hey, king to king, I respect you. I mean, you're a little bit of a slob. I get it. You have some troubles. But, like, level with me. What's the deal? What are you dealing with right now? What are you going through?" And Eddie's like, "All right, so time travel?" And it's like, yeah, I'm a master at that. I have a time machine. I'm good. Eddie goes like, "All right, cool. So I can time travel too, but I can only do it with my mind. And in order to fix my problem, I need my body to also go." And Doom's like, "Okay, no, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. You could be asking me to drive off a cliff in the temporal sphere." And Eddie's like, "Yeah, I'm not taking no for an answer." They then start to fight. In Doom's castle, they go to his magic room, and like Doom summons a giant demon hand to hold Venom, and he's like, and Eddie's just like, "I used to read a lot of crime novels, and you want to know how you intimidated someone? Crack a finger, crack a finger." And the hand goes like, "Ow." And Doom's like, "Oh, damn, I didn't know you could do that. I gotta fucking remember that." They then put into his science room, and he's like, "Oh, there's your time machine. Time for some concussive maintenance." And Doom's like, "No, no, 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 no." And then he just breaks it, and it starts to go and work. And Doom's like, "You're a fucking idiot." It's fucking hilarious.
Wonderful.
It's so good. If you want Prime Eddie Brock being a good guy, but also a giant fucking himbo, brilliant issue. I read Marvel Unleashed.
Yay! Their answer to the Super Pets.
The Pet Avenger book. So here's the thing. This is a book where all the animals talk, and you can understand them.
Okay.
I'm just one up right off the bat. Craven kidnaps Lockjaw, and a random dog and a dog wearing a D-Man mask come and ask Lucky, "Hey, your owner's an Avenger. My owner's missing. Can you help me?" And Lucky's like, "Yeah, sure. I'm a good guy.
I'm a good boy.
I'll help you." And and Lucky starts asking questions to the dog with the D-Man mask, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on with you?" And the dog goes like, "Oh, I'm a superhero." "What?" "Oh yeah, I'm a superhero. Would you like to hear my secret origin?" "See, I was left by the junkyard in a dump by my owner, and they left me there to be alone. And then I found a mask in the pile, so I put it on, and I became D-Dog." "That's your secret origin?" "Yes." "What's your powers?" "I am a good dog. I can fetch really good." Why are you trying to be a hero? Because if I am a hero, I am a good girl, and I will get pets and scratches in a home. And it's just like, oh.
Oh.
Also, one of the characters asks, "What does the D stand for?" Dog. Your superhero name is Dog Dog. Yes. It's adorable, but
That's
also
great.
heartbreaking. So Lucky goes to the one dog's house and goes like, to look for clues, and he goes like, shit. That's fucking bad guy armor, and it's an AIM B suit. And he goes like, all right, we need to go to the Avengers. And they go to the Avengers mansion and they start barking at Jarvis, and he can't understand what they're saying.
Jarvis is just like, all right, I guess I got to get out the canned food today.
Then Red Wing flies in and goes like, whoa, Lucky, what's going on? Hey, these guys, something's fucked. This owner may be a bad guy. And the dog's always going like, he cannot be a bad guy. He gives me walks and good food, like like a dog would.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Red Wing's like, all right, cool. I'm Captain America's bird. I'll go help you out. Let's go back and check it. And Carol Danvers' cat is there, and it goes, I'm gonna, you know what? I'll help out too. Really, the fucking cat's gonna help us. Hey, I'm a Flarkin. And the Red Wing just goes like, Carol Danvers lets you get away with so much. On this planet, you're called a cat. So they go, and Red Wing goes like, yeah, that's a beekeeper suit. Fuck. They go their separate ways. They do all this kind of stuff. And basically the bird, Red Wing goes like, hey, you're a bunch of dogs. Why don't you sniff for them? And they go like, oh, fuck, we can. Wow, shit. So they sniff him out. And then they find the guy. He's doing magic because he also had like a magic part of his workshop. And he's using Lockjaw's power to bring Darkheart into the universe back from the Hellcat story.
Yeah, that's a problem.
And Red Wing goes like, oh shit, this is magic. And they all go like, okay, so what do we do? Well, when there's magic, you call a god, with a final page reveal of Throg.
Hey.
This is adorable. This is very, very cute. There's a lot of great moments in this. Like, they're walking away from Lucky. Lucky's taking the dog they're helping out back to their house because they're a little lap dog and they're tired. And Lucky's a good guy. And the cat, Carol's cat, goes like, oh man, I feel bad for Lucky. He only has one eye. How did that happen? And Red Wing goes like, hey, it happens, that kind of thing. But hey, he'll be whole on the Rainbow Road. What's the Rainbow Road? Oh, that's where good pets go when they die.
Oh.
No. They will go on the Rainbow Road and they will wait for their owners. And when their owners pass, they will go on and be together forever.
Oh.
There's a pet religion because of what Thor has said. And that's them waiting. Oh, it's adorable and heartbreaking. Especially because D-Dog immediately asks, what happens to pets that don't have an owner? And Red Wing goes, I guess they're just lonely forever. Oh. This is some good shit.
Yeah.
Next issue. What are we talking about? You read Rogue Sun.
Hey, the continuing adventure.
Hey.
What the fuck is happening?
Hey.
Are you done?
B.
Oh my god.
Talk about Rogue Sun.
Yeah, so this issue, things really start coming to a head. We get a lot of time of Dylan basically learning that his dad and grandpa have an even worse relationship with each other than he did. But his grandpa seems like kind of a cool guy, so maybe we'll go with grandpa. Oh shit, grandpa betrayed me. And they're all trying to make a big alliance, him and all the other rogue sons, to get out of the spirit realm and go back to the land of the living with their powers. Um, Meanwhile, the first rogue son is still wreaking all kinds of havoc, but people are starting to catch on to him. The sister tells the mom, like, hey, I don't think Dylan's Dylan. The mom doesn't believe her, but very clearly her and Dylan both recognize, like, yeah, there's something not okay with Dylan. And the first rogue son knows that she knows that. So he goes and because he's not stupid, he realizes, oh, they'll probably be about ready to break out by now. I'm just gonna go um make an alliance with the villains because I realized my mistake was fighting them for so long. So if I make an alliance with them, I can make things easier for the people of the earth and they can just go conquer the rest of the universe and I'll just be in charge and it'll be okay because I know what's right, right? And then I'm going to go destroy the supervillain prison so that Dylan and his dad can't break out and stop me. And also, I'm going to break out a bunch of other supervillains so they can work with me. And that's the big last page reveal is that the sister realizes he's done that.
Mm.
So yeah, it's good. A
Good.
lot of really solid character writing, and the plot's starting to ramp up in a kind of fun, scary direction.
Neat. You read the last issue of Dark Knights of Steel.
Yay, the final issue of Tom Taylor's big pet project. I'm trying to make another Deceased Injustice thing happen. That really stalled out towards the end of it because the last like 4 issues took 3 months each to come out. Uh, it's a decent ending. I don't like that there's a twist at the end that leaves things open for more because I feel like with how long it took this book to wrap up, they should have just wrapped it up in a bow and been like, we're done with this universe for a while now. Um, but the characterization is solid. It ends in a somewhat satisfactory way, though not without a little bit of heartbreak. And ultimately, I do think this is a pretty solid story and worth checking out if just the concept of a medieval version of the DC Universe interests you.
Cool. I think that is the last book.
Oh, shit. Okay.
That is the last book. Hey, we talked about all the comics.
We did the books. The books are done.
We did the books. All of the books.
Yeah.
Jesus. Oh, man, are we loopy? We haven't been loopy in a while.
In a while, yes.
Hey, tell the people where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm the Vacuuminator. I make YouTube videos or things I'm kind of proud of sometimes.
Are you mocking me with how I burp?
No, I actually burped there. But yeah, at the Vacuuminator on YouTube. I'm gonna be streaming on Tuesday. I'm gonna be doing a solo stream, cracking into some SH Figure Arts and talking about the evolution of my history as a Tokusatsu fan and the people who helped me along the way as creators. So definitely go subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you know when that stream goes live on Tuesday night. Also, you can check out clips of my older videos on TikTok. That's at _Vacuuminator. I also have an Instagram under that handle where I post daily action figure photography, and that all tends to get collated on my Blue Sky, thevacuuminator.bsky.social, and Tumblr, thevacuuminator.tumblr.com.
Hey, I'm Boingo Writer. I do a variety of content on the internet. Twitch.tv /Boingo, twitch.tv /Boingo Writer. I stream on Twitch. I also make YouTube videos at Boingo Writer. I am on a variety of social media platforms at Boingo_Writer, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. I am on Mastodon at Boingo_Writer at vt.social. I am on Blue Sky at Boingo Writer .bsky.social. I am on Tumblr. Link to that is in the description. I'm in a variety of places. Check me out where you want to check me out. But in the meantime, this has been No Prize, where we talk about prizes and not. We also have several other podcasts, including Components, where sometimes we interview people, sometimes we fuck around, and we rarely find out. We also have This Week in Toku, where Vac and Buster talk about the week's proceedings of Tokusatsu minus one franchise. Which one? Watch it and find out. We also have another podcast called Saturday Morning Panels. Tell the people about Saturday Morning Panels.
Saturday Morning Panels is the once a month. Fuck you! It's the once monthly podcast where we talk about Transformers and GI Joe. Myself and Snowcone83. We go through the history of the classic Marvel comics, while also discussing the biggest news stories from the last month and some of the most recent figures we've picked up.
Hell yeah! And if you like this and those contents, give us a like, give us a subscribe, give us a ring the bell, give us your money.
No. Just follow us everywhere. We got a TikTok at Modular Media. We got a Twitter at the Modular Media. We got a Tumblr at Modular Media, and we have a Blue Sky at modularmedia.bsky.social.
Yeah. But yeah. Follow us places, do all the things. In the meantime, I think that's it for this episode. Vac, do you have anything else you would like to say?
When did my life go Looney Tunes?
Enough said.